In my opinion, age restrictions are very important, especially in today's society. They keep us safe and protected, especially on social media. Over the years I've had social media, I've noticed parents letting their kids get on social media at such a young age. It's sad for those kids because those kids get exposed to things at such a young age that most kids do not know about at their age. As a teenager, I can agree that teens get exposed to a lot of things, especially drug and alcohol at such a young age. Most teens get introduced to drugs and alcohol at parties, or some teens live with it at home and get introduced to it at home. There is really no way for us not to get exposed to drugs and alcohol or anything else. It is everywhere we go, it's in our community. There's really no way of stopping anyone from getting exposed to it.
So I think underage drinking shouldn't be allowed because first of all, there's a lot of teenagers and some teenagers barely even know how to drive. So what's the point of being able to be drinking at such a young age? I also think being under the age of 18 or even 18 is still a young age to be able to drink. I know there's some states that and countries that obviously allow for you to drink at the age of 18, but I still don't think that's right. Obviously, they should keep it at how they have it at age 21, but I also think that you should be able to, drink, enjoy, don't do stupid stuff like that.
I was gonna say, it would be tough to monitor, because if you put it in the hands of parents, then parents, they can't always watch their kids, and then if you put it in, you would hope that, stores aren't selling it to minors and things like that, but, if they're trying.
Yeah, so what they do now is, if they come in, they'll send we've had WeBo students do this before, and they'll send them into a liquor store to buy alcohol, and if the guy cards and refuses them, then the excise officer will come in, give them a certificate saying you were caught doing something right.
Well, they probably shouldn't do that because that would be illegal.
Yes.
No, not particularly.
As a matter of fact, I do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a number of people. You can't just put it on one person. It's the minor asking for it when they know that they're going to get in trouble. It's the adult that's buying it for them. And I think it's the law, I guess, too, that's a little bit responsible.
Well, I think a lot of it is the kids themselves. I mean, I think that they have to make a choice to understand that, there'll be plenty of time for that. You only have to wait till you're 21 in this country. So, I mean, I think it's on them, just that they just have to have the patience and wait.
The people who are drinking,
Right.
and the suppliers, those who's giving it to them.
The underage drinkers.
Yes, but I feel like if they're going to talk about alcohol education, they should talk about all drug education.
I think so. I think, just a little bit, so that everybody kind of has the same thing with smoking and all that kind of stuff. I think that, the more you can educate people on anything, the more education that they get, the better off they're.
Yeah, I think we need to address it. It's like sex ed. I mean, someone's got to address it.
Yes.
I don't think so. I mean, I've got, my son's 22 and my daughter's 20, so, I can't say, hey, I would hope that the education that you know, they got from us and from their school and things like that, and took all that into account, so then that they would know if you start too early, it affects your brain. If you do too much, it affects your body and tears down things. So I think that they need to understand, you know, that there are some dangers in that, and the more you do it and the longer it goes on, then the worse it can be.
No, parents don't understand much of anything.
So what I like is what Colorado used to do. So when you turned 18, you could buy beer and wine that was .03, so a very light beer and wine, and then you can learn how to drink versus wait till you're 21 and assume you know what you're going to do with the hard stuff. So I like that graduated one. In Ohio, parents can buy alcohol for their kids if they drink it at home, and that's good. So the kids learn to drink in a, you know, have a beer or two versus, you know, we got 2 hours, let's get trashed. So I think that's a lot healthier way than the way we do it. You know, like kids who drink, I don't think any kids drink 3 beers a day.
Right.
So they wait till the weekend and then drink a lot, and a lot of the kids end up dying. And I like what Indiana does with the life-saving line. So if we're at a party and Lily passes out, I don't want to call the cops, right? Because I'll get arrested.
Right.
But in Indiana, I can call the cops. They'll send the ER. She'll get hauled to the hospital, and we won't get in trouble. And that's because a lot of kids would die because their friends were afraid to call the cops.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing until they can get the law to be more harsh and actually follow through with what that law is.
It's better. I don't know, I still feel like I'm about 25 sometimes, but I don't know, I think I really felt like an adult once, because once I really went off to college, I started having to make my own decisions. So once I had to make my own decisions for me, you know, do I stay up late? Do I get to bed early? Do I, you know, stay up all night? Do I not study? Do I not go to class? You know, those kind of things. I mean, once you start making those kind of decisions, I think adulthood's kind of in your lap, so you've got to do something with it. Well, the worst experience is people die. You know, people, you know, you see people my age that have heart attacks and things like that, and then you're like, well, I'm not really all that old, but it happens. And that's kind of the worst part. And then the best part is you know, I mean, I get to spend my money how I want to spend my money on the things I want to spend my money on. I get to do the things, you know, if I want to go on a vacation, I can go on vacation. I mean, it's just making those kind of, you know, like big boy decisions that you get, you know. I mean, you know, do I really need a new car, or will this one do me for another couple of years? So I think that, you know, those kind of decisions, that's the fun part of being an adult. You get to make your own decisions. Well, the biggest takeaways, I don't know, sometimes I think the biggest one obviously is doing what I do. You know, you get to see kids grow and develop and make better choices, and then you get to watch them kind of grow. So I think that's the biggest takeaway is watching you guys, you know, kind of grow up and do your thing.
Responsibility, drinking properly, moderation, getting your work done, work habits. Being responsible for your actions, and also you got to be forgiving when you mess up. You're always going to make mistakes. Still do.
Alrighty.
I got an oil change one time.
So tell us about this oil change.
So I went into the shop, right?
Right.
And they're like, what? I was like, you need an oil change, dog. And they're like, I got you.
Ah.
Yeah, and then I went in and I used my debit card, adult.
Mm-hmm.
I
Adulting.
stuck it in the machine and I put in my PIN. And then they were like, you're good to go. And then I walked outside and I fell in a puddle. Then I got up and drove away.
Perfect. So, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Grad school.
Doing.
Grad school stuff.
I actually hate you. Okay, now we're gonna switch over to adulting.
Adultery?
Adulting.
You're so sweet for that.
Okay.
Ready?
Do you think that underage drinking is a settlement problem in this community?
No.